Okay, there's, as I've mentioned, this is part 2 of the series of 10. We've finished last week. I want to start shooting video. If for those who just joined us today, you can watch the video. You can watch the video, which is here on the website as well. Please feel free to watch it. Okay, so I'll just do a quick rundown of what's happening on the next few weeks. Okay, on April 19, 7 p.m., we'll be discussing camera movement, how to use gimbals, how to use stabilizers, how to fix it, how to set it up, tripods, etc., etc. So it'll be a good time to practice all those camera movements for those who are just starting. Okay. April 26th would be I Can't Hear You, which is audio essentials. We'll be covering, yes, technically audio, how to set up, how to put in third-party audios and configure it. And if there's an event, how you tap it in, where you position those lapel microphones, how you put them to, if you're doing interviews. On April 3rd, I Can't See You, which is basically essential lighting. Since we are live and we're in a limited space, I will be drawing a few diagrams. It'll be more of a casual talk, letting me know or conversing with me on the situation or the current situation of where you're at or how you position the lighting. Okay, gears and their use would be on on May 3, that's Ramadan already, so that starts at 5 in the evening. Manu, there's schedules. I'm posting the schedules right now so you could see. I'll do another run at the end of this show so you'll see again. All these events are posted online in Nikon Middle East website, Facebook page. On May 10, it's 5 in the afternoon UAE time, gears and their uses. So understanding the cameras and their lenses, why are we using this kind of lens and why do we prefer this lens in a certain situation? Let's get this done. So it's an essential workflow on how from charging your unit, preparing for a shoot, memory cards, batteries, charging it, copying the files, backing it up, and backing it up again, and putting it online and editing it and all. So it's the full workflow. Yeah. Okay, then on May 24, which is 7 p.m., back to 7 p.m., so Ramadan would be done by then. So titles, let's edit. It's the essential editing. I will be going through Adobe Premiere as a software. I'll be using 2018, so it'll be at least compatible to the new users. Okay, so the software we will be using is Adobe Premiere. If you have other software, it'll be technically almost the same because, again, if you're using Final Cut, it'll almost be the same. So I'll put in some additional tips as well on how to change the keyboard shortcuts on editing. Okay, May 31, let's go live. Essential live streaming. I was wondering if since everyone is like kind of going online, would you want this to move on an earlier schedule? Or because again, hopefully the virus will be okay by this time. But again, since everyone wants to learn, I've got a lot of inquiries regarding this one. If I could move this in the earlier stage, please do let me know your thoughts on this one, so at least I would know. All right. So, and on June 7, it's more of the external recording with the 4K. This is an advanced class. So this would be, we will be using Final Cut on this one, but please do let me know if you have additional things you want to learn. We could replace this with something that you wanted, or depending on the majority, please feel free to put in your comments on May 7 on what we want to change. Okay, so hi Fadi. Photomart sound. Guys, I'm not sure if one Deem can hear us, but can everyone hear me and all that? Sally, screen is black. Okay, so let me just double check. Good evening, Kelvin. Hi, Ali, Yazir, Francis. Hi, Manu. I'm unfortunately I can't read Arabic, so Pinta. Hi, April. When? Okay, schedule is there. Okay, no signal is very weak. Okay, I'm not sure. All right. So let's go forward. Oh, I totally forgot to turn on my live. Hi guys. Hi again for everyone who just joined. These are the schedules on the following 3 months. Okay. So again, I'd just like to add the target audience for this one is basic. You need to have a basic knowledge in photography. Photographers who wanted to start shooting video, and people who wanted to fully utilize the power of their Nikon DSLR and mirrorless to shoot video. Okay, so right. So guys, since this is live, the best way is to do interaction. Okay, wait, let me just double check. Why is my chat not showing up? All right, let me just fine tune it. All right, there. So please feel free to comment, put in your comments live, so I could go in. Feel free to ask questions anytime. Okay, so another thing, I just need to know what you're doing and where you're from. What are your gears? What cameras do you have? So we would understand. Okay, Manu. Thanks, Manu, for that. Thanks for the comment. Okay, Mohammed. Good evening. I'm hearing you. All right, perfect. So where are you from, guys? Where are you from? I'm currently in Dubai right now. I'm in Dubai for 12 years already. So been doing a lot of videos here. I've done close to 3,000 weddings. So let me know. Let me know again if you have tripods, if you have gimbals, if you have all that. So please do post. Hi, Federico. Good evening. Thanks for joining. Okay, just to add up, Nikon is having a home video contest, just in case for those who doesn't know about this. Please feel free to join this one because this is a really good stepping stone, especially if you're new. It's a good exposure as well, joining contest. Wait, let me just double check the run through of the contest. Okay, so guys, again, Nikon home video contest. Could someone paste the wait, I'll paste it. I'll paste it. Okay, the rules, and I'm pasting the rules right now. Okay. I'm from Russell Kaima with a D7200. Is it okay for taking video? Yes, Francis, it's really good. Okay, we'll tackle that each individual videos. I have a Nikon 7100D based in Dubai, A76. I have a, all right. Okay. Hi, Mrs. Jat. I'm from Pakistan. All right, sounds good, guys. All right, let me run through with the, okay, so contest chats. Sorry, okay, here. All right, so again, this is sponsored by Zuyin YC onion, Cinco, and small rig. So the rules are basically indicated here. I won't run through everything, but again, please do read it. It's nice because the deadline is we have time. So we have time. So it's on May 21st. The deadline for submission is May 21st. So guys, it's oops. All right. So again, the rules and regulations are here. How to submit, the style, approach, and everything is there. So please feel free. Oh, okay, there. This is the problem with live. You tend to forget to press all that, so you tend to get the mistakes. So apologies for that. All right, so as you can see, again, I'll just go back. Here are the rules. Basically, these are the sponsors. Again, please feel free to join, guys. All right, let me go back. Nepal, but I'm using, okay, Canon user. Okay, all right. Again, here are the prices. So I don't. It's a good opportunity. Again, I don't think it's. Look at the price. It's awesome, right? So please do join. I'll run through it again. It's a Z50, a gimbal, YC, onion pudding, Zinco microphone, small rig, full cage, and a small rig L bracket. So with this, you're good. Okay, you just have to buy a tripod and you're ready for big time shooting. Right? So okay, so just to summarize on what we did last session, I'll just run through it. Again, the most important thing in a good video is your story and the music. Okay, so good story, good music, sound effect, and all equals good video. Okay, so even though how good you are, how sophisticated your equipment is without the story, it won't do anything. Okay, so why did it? Okay, I'm sorry. Wait, sorry guys. I just have to, I pressed it accidentally. All right, there you go. All right. Making video is not rocket science. So again, please be reminded that it's practice makes more sense. So again, sorry. Okay, practice, study, and be persistent on what you do and in shooting videos. Okay, so I'm not a fan of YouTube because there's so many things that contradicts on what I've learned in school, in books, and in other online paid sites. So there's so many things that they say which is really not applicable, and it's when based on experience, it's kind of off. So that's why I do buy books. I do watch a lot of behind the scenes in order to learn how it was done. There's so many websites, paid websites rather than YouTube. Yes, you will get a lot of things in YouTube, but the basic and the fundamentals they tend to forget. So I just watched an online webinar a while ago about video editing, and I've seen the editor, which is basically cutting it in a way that you would know that he's lacking the basic skills because there's like so many buttons he's missing out. So we'll tackle that as well. in one of the sessions on editing, how to edit efficiently and fast. Okay, because in on YouTube, all you would see is their show. They would show you the cuts and all, but not how to efficiently edit it. So we'll tackle that as well. Okay, but for me, the best thing would be practice, practice, practice. You shoot, look at your mistake, shoot again, improve from that mistake, and do it again. It's a cycle. If I watch my video 10 years ago, I'm gonna literally be ashamed of what I've done. But through those years and through those 12 years, there's a big improvement, of course, because I learned from my mistakes. I practiced, I improve, I adjust, I change the way I've shot and technically evolve. So I keep on learning, studying new style, new techniques, new editing style. Okay, D7 Manu. Recently, I only bought Crane 3, but I'm not able to use this stuff along with the Z. Hi Manu. Why can't you use it? Why is it not compatible? Technically, any cameras you put in the on your gimbal would be compatible. So let me know. Kashmir. I'm from Kashmir. I don't have Nikon. I have Canon. Okay, sorry to hear that. Right. All right. So we'll go to basic again. Exploring types of cameras. So again, the most common thing to shoot on a video is your mobile phone. So mobile phones nowadays are sophisticated, really, really good. And you could take awesome, awesome, awesome videos, especially the new ones. Those are like superb qualities, really, really good quality. So, but again, the pros and cons, yes, good resolutions, it's fast, it's easy, it's light, you could move anywhere with it and all. So, but again, it's not, for me, it's not suitable for serious filmmaker. It's good for experimental film, MTV's personal. But if you want to go to the next level, then of course you'll go the next level. Okay. So the next would be the consumer cameras. Remember the cameras with I have one here, but technically this is a prosumer without the XLR. So I have one here. Wait, where am I? So yeah, so I have one here. So this is a consumer camera. Yeah, this is a consumer camera. The difference with it on a prosumer is it has XLR. So okay, so disadvantage is a smaller imaging chip, fewer manual controls, no XLR, and it's fixed lens. So these are the disadvantage of it. So for a if for a prosumer camera, now we go professional and consumer level. Wait, popping out. No, wait, sorry. Okay. All right. Okay. Gimbal is sophisticated and advanced setup. Yet camera is 5 years and the D710 is not giving a good servo focus. Also issue. I tried for some sample shots and I'm not satisfied. Okay, we'll go into that. We'll go into that later on. Okay. Okay, where was I? Okay, the prosumer cameras. The prosumer cameras are more of it has manual control and it has XLR, but still it has fixed lens. So the beauty of having an XLR is you could tap into systems, you could tap in your audio quality would be really good. Okay, so the next would be, of course, the DSLR and the mirrorless. Okay. I won't be tackling to the other higher end cameras anymore because again due to time constraint. These are the these DSLRs and mirrorless has big imaging chip, superior quality, and of course the interchangeable lens. Okay, so the price dramatically went down already for the past 10 years. So a good mirrorless and a DSLR nowadays are really really affordable. Okay, uh, yeah. Okay, so again, let's go to why. There's a slight delay on the slideshow. Apologies for that. Okay, so why would we use a DSLR or mirrorless cameras on videos? Okay, so why is it? So the reason why I'm using it is the interchangeable lens. It makes a lot of sense on creating cinematic feel of the video. And of course, the low light capability. Nowadays, when it's really dark, I could just pump up the camera into ISO 5000 and I'm like good to go. Okay, Z50. So again, I won't be covering the higher cameras. Okay, so knowledge plus skills. Regardless of what camera you will be using, it will still boil down to the principle of focus, exposure, and storytelling are always the same. So it's regardless of what you use, so you can still create content or story even if you're using a mobile phone. So it's within you on how to deliver it. Yes, Ali, the quality on the DSLR and the mirrorless are really good. I'm not sure what you refer on the contain. All right, so key features, the key features that I will be looking on the video, on a video DSLR are as follows. Okay, of course, HD. It has to be at least 1920 by 1080. I believe nowadays there's no more cameras that can't support the 1080. Okay, some older ones can't, especially the older models. Um, the 50 and the 60 frames, of course, those are quite essential and very important. And the 4K. Okay, I'll explain later why I prefer using 4K and what's its usage as well. Okay, storage, meaning the availability of the card and the durability. Okay, SD cards are quite good. XQDs are extremely good. Okay, so the third one would be controls. How easy and how accessible is it, and the balance of the camera. Okay. The fourth one is a clean HDMI output. It's not required, but I would prefer on my line of work. I would prefer the clean HDMI. Reason being is I could go live stream. I could put it in a video mixer. I could put in an external recorder, which really helps. Okay. And last one is audio input. Audio input and audio output. Okay. Audio output is not it's not a necessity, especially on the lower end camera. You could get away without an audio input, but I prefer to have one. But again, it's there's always an external recorder to bypass that, so you'll be okay with it. So you're recording audio with your external recorder rather, because the reason why you need an audio headphones plug into the camera, so you would know if you're recording sound properly, if it's tripping or if it's too loud, if it's too low. So it's nice to have those. Okay, guys, please feel free to say hi. If you just join in, please say hi and where you're from and what are your cameras. Okay. Yes. Where am I? Okay. It's also nice to have a XLR device that comes that it's a third party. So I have one here. It's quite old already. It's been with me for like 10 years, I think. It's I'm not even sure if this company is still alive. So I have XLR input. I put in the camera so I could control the audio. Okay, so video is half of the story, half is audio. So audio is very important. Okay, so even the professionals tend to forget or overlook how important the audio is. Okay, so please remember that. I won't be showing our work anymore, but please feel free to visit our website. Please do follow our Instagram. We do have less videos there, but again, it's more of photo because we do photo and video. Our company does photo and video. Ronel from Riyadh has Z750 and Z6 cameras. Welcome. Okay, so my Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube is Kelvin Montalvo. Please feel free to send me a note. Since there's a video contest, upcoming video contest, uh, let's do this together. I've asked Nikon if I could guide you through it, and they've agreed through it. Please feel free to message me in any platform. I'll try to reply. If you have ideas, we could go through it. I could guide you through it. So please do send me a message. Say hi, hello. Just say hi. Let's do this together. I could guide you through in joining the contest. Okay. So again, that's let's go to the next. Basically, we're going to do the Q&A right now. So please feel free to ask the question. Where was this? Wait, let me check on the gimbal issue. Who was that having the gimbal? Okay, the C710. Okay, so not servo focus. When one, because I don't do autofocus. I don't do autofocus even on the gimbal. I do. Yes, of course. With the new Z, it's easier to have an autofocus. But before that, on the video days, everything we're doing is on manual focus. Yes, it's hard, but you need to adjust and you need to get to familiarize with it. As I've said, it's not the camera, it's the one using it. So you have to understand the weakness of the camera. Like as you've said, the servo focus is not good. Turn off the autofocus. Just go manual. So my tip to you is, example, you have a meter distance. You have a meter distance on the focus. So you set it up. So let's say you've set it up already on focus. So your movement is literally a meter every time. So if the subject is walking, you keep that distance every time. So you would know a meter every time. So makes more sense. I hope that helps. So again, but of course, if you could get a Z50, that would help a lot. It makes it easier and lighter, or a Z6. Okay, so shooting D720, never done video shoot before. All right, Anuj, yeah, feel free to contact me if you need guidance. There's a 10 session here. It'll be perfect for you. And once you start shooting the video. Okay. How can I do video at night? Tried shooting a wedding and it's really dark. How can I improve that without using flash? Hi Zafa. And video, there's no flash. You just need light. You need an external light. I think I have a small, wait, let me, oh yeah. We usually put this on top of on top of our cameras. Wait, let me check if yeah, yeah. So wait. Okay, so what am I using? This is a Z6. Yeah. So you need to have this. You need to have a small light. You need to put in light. So my light. Yeah. Or we on a wedding we usually put in a bigger light, strong lights, big lights, and it's a must. It's quite important. Oh, sorry about this. It's uh, I didn't see that the text, the chats are cut. Sorry. Okay, so where was I? All right, yeah. Okay. Hope that answers your question, Safa. Yes, you really need to have external lights. It's a must on videos. There's it's so hard to shoot uh, weddings without a third party lights. What can what can you say about Crane Lab 3? Crane Lab 3 or a rig for D720? Um, I have Crane Lab. It works just fine. Again, it's not the model or the brand of gimbal you're using. It's more of the story that you're telling. So make sure you balance it properly. I love the way people are shooting the gimbals, but the problem is it's being overused. So everyone is like using gimbal, even if it's just require a tripod shot. So the difference right now in style and in video shooting is nothing. Everyone's using gimbal now. That's why my team and I are basically shooting less gimbals because in this industry you want to be different. So you can't follow everyone. You can't do what everyone's doing because the main question is why would I hire you? Why would people hire you? While everyone has the same gimbal as you are, while everyone has the same Z cameras as you are. So again, you have to be unique in creating a video and you have to be different when telling the story. So it doesn't matter what gimbals are you using. It should work perfectly. Yes, do manual focus. Yes, it especially with the slightly prosumer models, the slightly lower levels, the focusing is not that good. But with the Z and with the Z50, the Z6 and the Z7 and the D850, the autofocus is spot on. I remember we did once a fashion show. I put in 7200 in front and man, because I just want to try how good the autofocus is. Of course, we have another camera which is basically doing the focusing. So it's put in an autofocus. So there's a stage, and people are walking. The models are walking back and forth. So we left the camera there on purpose unmanned. So the autofocus was spot on, 99.9%. It made it made our life easier because again the autofocus helped a lot. Okay, so Anuj, thanks. I'm looking forward for the sessions to get motivated using DSLR for video. Thanks, champ. I just bought a Z710, but I can't set it for studio use. Michael Sam, how could you explain further why you can't set it up in studio use? What seems to be the problem? Let me know, because I can't understand, like, why can't you use it in the studio? Do you prefer the touch screen? Um, Muhammad, yes, of course. Who doesn't like touchscreen focus, right? Makes your life so easy. It's the funny thing is when you go online, there's a lot of bashers or a lot of people complaining that the focusing of the Z is not good. It can't focus that well. But again, there's this thing called touch focus. If it missed the focus that's touch, what you want to focus. So I don't see any issue to that. It 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 it's really it really helped a lot. It's on focusing when you do a touch. So it's easy. It's easy, and that's a must for us. Okay, so hope that answers your question. I have Amorelino. If you ask me to if it's a good video, again, as I've said in the earlier stage, it's always the user. It's the story that you're telling. Know the weakness of the camera and get over that. So example, if you can't shoot low light, if you can't go high ISO, shoot in the morning, right? Or put in external light. If the autofocus is your issue, then do manual focus. All right, it's never an excuse for you to not shooting and telling yourself I have a bad camera. It's not that. It's never like that. So if you have gears, existing gears, make use of them. Okay, make use of make use of that gear. Use the full potential of that gear. Then once you go and charge people and once you go pro, that's the time for you to upgrade. We will be covering extra on the next session of gears on how to use them properly and why we use them. Okay, so hope that makes sense. I got a Z720. Is it good for portrait? Tecnopinta Mocha. We're covering video. So if you ask me if it's good for portrait, again, it's always the user, right? It's always the user. So I could shoot any, and I could still take good photos because it's always the user, regardless of photo or regardless of video or regardless of what you're using. Yeah. So again, guys, please feel free to ask questions. Okay, we're about to wrap up now. Any more questions? Any more additional questions? I hope I did some good. If you're starting, if you don't have a camera yet, and you're starting and you're planning to buy one, always ask yourself, what is it for and how are you going to use it? If you're doing vlog, if you're doing travel, wait, let me get the sample. Okay, I'm back, sorry. Yeah, my favorite camera. This is my personal favorite, the Z50. It's small, it's light, it's powerful. It's the equivalent, the smaller brother of the Z6. When I travel, I use this. It's light, and I just bring the stock lens. I'm okay with it. I'm happy with it. Of course, I do bring a 35 with me as well. I would recommend this for starters. Focus is spot on. It's fast, and it's awesome. Okay. Hi, do you recommend Atomos Ninja? I do interviews. It depends on the client. I've heard clients request that I require 4K. They would require 4K, so I charge 4 times to shoot 4K. Why? Because the files are huge. The workflow would be totally different. I always ask the client, what is it for? If it's for online, so why would you shoot 4K? It doesn't make sense. Okay, we do shoot 4K. We use the Atomos Ninja for commercials or for shooting next level. If it's wedding, I don't see the point of shooting 4K if it's interviews. I personally don't shoot Autonomous Ninja because, again, storage wise, workflow wise, when we shoot interviews, there's like 3 to 4 cameras. Okay, so what's the advantage of shooting? Don't put sir. I'm okay with Kelvin. Just call my name. It doesn't matter. It's kind of an American culture thing, which people you call people sir. So just call me by name. Um, Advantage? Yes, that's a good follow up question. I use 4K. I use 4K because if example, I'm having a wide lens and I need to zoom it in some ways, and I don't have my lens with me. I'm like in the middle of of a stage or something that I can't go back and get my lens. I would shoot 4K because in post production I could just crop it in and zoom it in. In key moments of an event, I would shoot 4K as well. The reason why is I need to crop it. I need to adjust. I need to go zoom in. That's the main reason I shoot 4K. So I'm not shooting 4K because I don't. We don't shoot 4K because of the quality of the 4K. For me, I don't. We don't use much 4K. Client does not require 4K because, again, clients are more of YouTube, social media, and all, and they're not willing to pay on that amount. Only if a client requires or wanted to pay, then that would be really good. Okay, so which frames are good for video shooting? 24, 50, MUIs. I hope I read that right. That's a good question. Okay. I'm sure you know that 24 frame is a cinematic feel. I don't like it. I don't like it in a way because it stutters. For a keen eye, if there's movement, you would see them. If there's fast movement, there's a slight stutter to it. Most of the clients, our clients, basically the bride, the grooms, would complain like, why is this like this? You can't tell the client that that's a cinematic feel because that's not acceptable for them. For my client, they prefer the smooth flow video. They Because at the end of the day, you have to please the client regardless of. So I shoot the most frames that I can. Since I'm in Dubai and we're using PAL, we go 50. If I require extra speed for slow-mo, I'll go 60, or I'll go 120 for slow-mo, for doing a slow-mo in post-production. So 100 frames is the best for me, especially for moving subjects. There's 120 as well. Yes, that's the main reason. I shoot in higher frames if there's fast movement, or if I want to slow-mo. I want to do slow motion in post production. So that's the main reason why I go higher frames. But again, our deliverables are 50 or 60. I don't deliver 24 or 25. A lot of people would contradict me on this one, but I prefer the higher frame rates. Okay. I use the 50 frames. It's consume me, reduce the size. When I use 50 frames, it consumes more space instant SD card. Can we reduce the size? Uh, there's no need to reduce. You just have to buy a bigger memory card because the videos are compressed already, so you can't. I wouldn't recommend. You would compress it, but would destroy the quality of the video. So I prefer you get nowadays the SD cards are so cheap. So you could even buy one SD card per shoot. You charge that to the client and you keep the SD cards. It's that cheap nowadays. So get a 128 or a 64 or a higher memory card. Sir, did you say this yours you will recommend? Z50, sorry, not the D50, Z. It's a Z50. Sorry about that. It's a Z50. Apologies. Sally, yeah. Z50. Because I want to buy my first DSLR cameras. I want to know which is the best buy for professional photographers. Ezemweni. Ezemweni. I hope I'm reading your names right. Okay. Again, there's two ways to it. Um, if you're a photographer and doing videos and you wanted to buy a new cameras, uh, I would go for the Z6. The Z6, why Z6, not Z7? Okay, Z7 is basically more design. It's a higher resolution photo. You can't shoot 4K 50, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure, but that's the main difference. Z6 can, but Z6 has slightly lower resolution camera. But since you're not doing commercial shoot or billboard kind of shot and does not require super high resolution, you're okay with a Z6. I prefer the Z6 in most of my shoot because it does not eat a lot of space in my photos. Yes, my main cam is a Z7, uh, but most of the time I use the Z6. Why I use Z50 at times. Z50 is nice for smaller gigs, for birthday parties, for run and gun occasionally, and spots where you're not allowed to photograph or videograph. I would bring the Z50, and it's a perfect backup camera. Please take note, guys. It's really important when you go to a shoot or when you go to a gig or an event when you're covering, you have to have a backup camera, regardless of resolution, regardless of quality, as long as you have a backup camera. So since the Z50 is not far of a quality to the Z6, the Z, I'm sorry, I'm used to saying Z, not Z. So the Z50 is the baby brother. So anything that the Z6 can be done with the Z50 with a few disadvantages, of course. It has smaller sensor, so in low light it cannot do as much as what the Z6 can do. But again, it can as long as you know and you understand the weakness of the camera. Okay, so all right, for weddings, what do you prefer? Uh, I would go for the Z6. Since I do combo, I shoot photo, I shoot video. I'll go with the Z6. Z50 would be back up. Yeah, that's it. A Z6 and a Z50. And since the trend right now is more on mirrorless, it should work. It's the mirrorless nowadays, so I would go for the Z series. Uh, Anand, bird photography. It's hard to pronounce your name. I'm just really careful with it. Uh, Z50. Yes, you can. But it's awkward putting a 500 millimeter on a Z50. But it works. Again, it's always the one. Those questions are more of like it's the user. It's always the user, regardless of what camera. If you know the basic and if you know your fundamentals, then you're okay with any camera. Uh, okay, please, are there shop in Nigeria? Yes, I went there. I went to Nigeria last time and did a talk. Maybe the Nikon people who's watching right now could address them. Send me a message. I'll send you the contact details of Nikon Nigeria as well. Yeah, there is a Nikon Nigeria. I remember. Z50. Yes, I've answered that. Tried pronouncing. Yeah, okay, man, perfect. Which Nikon camera is recommended for starting photographer? Not too expensive, please. Uh, it depends on what kind of shoots are you gonna do. how are you gonna shoot them? What sort of photography are you doing? So, and it depends on the budget. It really depends on the budget. So, um, here's the thing. If you buy, if you're starting photography and you wanted the, let's say you don't have enough money, please take note. In the long run, it'll be more expensive for you. So, example, if you buy the 3500 series, which is the entry level, you will look for additional functions, additional power, additional options which are not available on that model. So you upgrade again, and you keep on upgrading, and you keep on upgrading. So in the long run, it'll cost you more rather than saving you money. So if you're starting, try to borrow from a friend first. Try to feel. Go to a Nikon shop where there's a demo. Play with it. Try with it, because one of the factor is also grip. Hold the camera if it's comfortable. Okay, so I have a 3500 here, which is small. So for me, it's quite small, and my pinky finger goes over it. So compared to the compared to the compared to the Z50, yes, Z50 is small, plus, but take note, the ergonomics of this camera is awesome, which the balance and the feel of this is really good, that my pinky finger fits in it compared to this one, which basically goes over it. Yes, this is a good startup if you're just playing around and you don't worry about upgrading. Entry level cameras, you're okay with it. But if you're gonna go to the next level and you want to hone your skills or improve it, it's nice to have a really good camera. It's, as I've always said, it's not the art, it's not the archer, right? It's not the arrow, but the archer. But if you have a good arrow, it would help you shoot better. For portrait, landscape, or Z50, if you have the money, Sally, get the C6. I would prefer that. Again, both works fine. I use the Z50 when I travel, so I do shoot landscape as well. But if I want to go take really awesome shot for landscape, I would bring the Z50 because I will crop it in a higher resolution. I will stitch it. That's for landscape. I would like to have a 51.4. I already have 1.8. What exactly would the advantage for me? Point 4 is really small. But the difference of the two is speed. The 1.4 has faster focus compared to the 1.8. But technically, it it's almost the same, especially when you put it in a mirrorless camera. It for a normal user, you wouldn't see the big difference. It's more of there's shallow depth of field. There's your background is blurry and you're good with it. So stay with it, master it, upgrade once it's really required. Okay, so when I was starting, like I want technically everything. I want every new camera, new lens out there. I want those. I want them. But the problem is when you tend to grow old and you gain experience, you never realize that you don't need those cameras. It's more of I want them rather than I need them. So please put into consideration when you buy something, do I need them or I just want them? Okay, so I would, before I buy a lens or a camera, mostly lens, I would put it in percentage that how often will I use this camera? If how often would I use this lens? So if the lens goes below 10% of the time, then I won't buy it. Okay. To be honest, if you ask me, I don't have an 85 millimeter prime lens and above. The reason why is I don't use them. On weddings and in events, I use the 35 and the 50 most of the time. So I don't see the point of buying an 85 for myself. So yes, it's nice to have an 85, but the percentage of how and when I'm going to use it is not I can't signify the expense that I'm going to spend on getting an 85. Why? Because I have a 70-200 2.8, which can cover that as well. Yes, prime lens are really good. Prime lens is light and easy and fast, but I, again, it's more of I want rather than I need them. Okay, so hope that answers your question. I use a D5. I want to upgrade. Which would you prefer? Not expensive. Uh, that's a tough question because I could shoot good already by a. It boils down to your budget. What is expensive to you? What is expensive to you? How much is expensive to you? So because and what sort of shooting you're doing? I made a lot of money using it. Uh, Hope DSLRs and mirrorless are ruling now. Um, there's still there. I know there's still a lot of people using DSLR and still loyal to them. The D780, which is a hybrid, it's technically has the power of a DSLR and a mirrorless, so it's a combination for those people who wanted to stay with the DSLR and but wanted the autofocus of the mirrorless. The D780 is the perfect choice. Do you use main camera or video? In a bit difficult to shift between two modes, especially when you need to shift quickly. Okay, Parbin. Yeah, I love the Z. I love the C series because I could switch photo and video anytime that I wanted. But but the main concern is what are you photographing? What are you going to take? So you weigh that in. Is the light okay? So I'll give you one example because you can't switch, right? It's hard to switch from photo to video. So what I'll do and tell the client is like, okay, since my video team or since your booking is only one photo and one video, I have to let you simultaneously. I will have to let you do that again. So, example, a groom would be wearing a watch. I'll just give just an example. A groom would be wearing his watch. So I'll take a photo. Take a photo. Okay, then let's do it again. I'll remove it. I'll shoot the video. I'll shoot the video using that same movement again. Another way is if they're rushing and if they don't agree, I'll check the light. If it's okay, the settings are perfect and all that, I'll shoot video rather than photo, but I'll shoot it in 4K. I'll shoot in 4K. Why? Because I can screen grab that in the later stage. So I'll have photo and video. 4K because it has higher resolution. So if you're shooting 1080 in that specific moment, then you'll be just grabbing a 2K resolution photo. Hope I'm getting my point. But again, I would just talk to the client. I would just talk to that person whom I'm photographing or I'm taking photos of or video. So just like, okay, let's do that again because I'm not happy with my shots. I'll just tell them that. So okay, I'm shooting photo right now. I'll be shooting video again, so you have to repeat that again. Um, you I do that. I do that all the time because if it boils down to my relationship with my client. I could tell that to my client. Hi, Batul. 750, and I'm experienced. Good to know. Hi, Japs. Thanks for joining. Grade 70 full frame. Uh, to upgrade 73, which is better? Or full frame? Anad, technically the D720 7200, I have it in a Z50. Since you have both crop sensor, what are your lenses? What lens do you have? Are those full frame lenses? Because you have to put that in consideration before you upgrade. Are your lenses compatible with a full frame? So, wait, excuse me. Are your lenses compatible with a full frame? So, if not, then I'll go with the D7500. If it's compatible, then of course I would love. Who doesn't want full frame cameras, right? So yeah, that's that. Because again, you have to weigh it. You are correct. I have both 7 to 200. I rarely use the 85 for my shots. My favorite lens during events is a 7 to 200 because it's versatile. Yes. Okay, so Fubura. Okay, you asked what do I use for? I use D50 for outdoor shoot, portrait also weddings. But the problem is depth of field. Okay, then if depth of field, if it's portrait, okay, yeah, you could get a 35 with a 50 millimeter. Then you could have depth of field or a 70 to 100. I got it. A 4K shin cut will be good enough. If they want a printout, good enough. Yeah, it is. I have I know someone who's shooting full video in their event in 4K without a photographer. So he's just grabbing screenshot, and creating albums out of it. But again, it's just, I'm not telling you to do that exactly, but it's just a backup plan, just in case your team is not there with you right now and everything is happening already. So let's say the mom is going to hug the bride and your video team or your photo team is not yet there. Let's say he went to a washroom, so he's not yet there. So given the scenario, yes, you have to shoot that, right? Because those are moments, you can't miss moments. So you have to find ways. Okay, and that, yes, lenses are not compatible. Then we'll stay with the 7500 because it's more expensive if you get the full frame, unless you could sell everything. If ever I do upgrade the Z series, can I use the old lens, like the 9 plus lens? Uh, any lens is compatible. Nikon lens, if you put in an FTZ adapter, you could put that in. But if it's a full frame, I wouldn't recommend putting them because you'll just kill the sensor. It'll just shrink the resolution. It'll be smaller resolution. So if you could sell everything and get a full frame, because when we do shoot video, I just have this lens, which is a 2470 f4 and one 35 millimeter. I could shoot a wedding with that. I'm okay with that. 35 because wide and depth of field. Yes, of course, it's nice to have a 70 to 100 in your arsenal. So I could shoot a wedding with this lens only, even without a 35. So one lens can rule them all. You're good. You could cover them. If I need extra range, I'll go 70 millimeter and shoot it in 4K. And let's say I can't get near my subject and my zoom is is still wide in some ways. I'll go 4K, shoot it in 4K, that particular scene, shoot it in 4K, then crop it and post. So now I have a zoom. So again, those are some instances of some scenarios that happen. Yeah, it's not screenshot, it's screen grab. It's you have to screen grab it, not screenshot. The resolution in screenshot is lower. Okay, so oh wow, I'm over 1 hour already. I didn't notice. Okay, guys. I'll wrap it up. Any additional questions? I hope I did answer your questions. Please, all right. Again, please feel free to contact me on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. Send me a message. Say hi, hello, follow me there. I'll be glad. There's a contest, okay? There's a video contest. Please join that. Um, please do join that. It's nice. So okay, so hope it was a productive evening. Thank you, everyone. Please feel again, just a reminder, on April 19, we will be covering camera movement. So it's more of scenario, some example shots. I'll just take stills because it will eat a lot of time showing you all the videos and all the example shots. So I prefer this is more of a casual talk, as if you're just beside me or in front of me. We're just having coffee and you're just talking and you're asking me, how do you do this? How do you shoot it this way? If this is the scenario, a bride comes in, where do you position yourself? Where do I shoot? If a family member is doing this, how do you shoot it? Yeah, it's more of that. Please be reminded, put it in your calendar. It's April 19th, 7 p.m. UAE time. Please feel free to join. Please do follow me again on Instagram. Okay, so just to summarize on the schedules, it's in the earlier page. I'll paste it right now. Wait. Here. That's the long link. So just click it, guys. That's the contest rules and regulations. Please do join. Okay, it's nice, especially the pros who's joining me right now. Okay. Whoa, wait. Okay, guys. Thank you for joining and thank you for your time. Have a good night. Stay home, stay safe, and thank you. Good night, guys. Bye bye.